Hello Year 10, how are you all? Hope you're all very well. I'm missing teaching you face to face very much. So welcome to week number 4. So we're going to be looking at the erosional features along the coast, and you'll need reference to pages 98 and 99, which I've put on the next slide. What we're going to do is identify the erosional features found on the coast and explain how and which processes have actually caused these features. So these are the textbook pages you'll need, so do keep referring back to them, but we'll get started with our do now task. Oops, so I'll just move that. So for your do now task, in the back of your book please, could you answer the following 4 questions as best as you can? So I would suggest pausing the video here. So you'll be looking at what is longshore drift. You might want to draw a diagram for that. Can you recall the 4 types of transportation in the coasts? And can you recall the 4 types of erosion? And whereabouts does deposition occur and why? So pause the video here and see how much you can recall from previous learning. So on the following slides, I've just done a little bit of a knowledge refresher for you. So erosion, it takes you through the 4 of them. I wonder which of these you actually remembered in your do now task. They're usually associated with destructive waves. There are your 4 types of transportation and the movement of material. I wonder how many of those that you were able to recall. And then the 4 main reasons why deposition, so to deposit or to put down material, occurs, and they're usually associated with constructive waves. So the purpose of today's lesson will be to look through some of these different features and processes and draw some diagrams, and then come back to these exam questions a little bit later, and I have prepared model answers for them. So just a reminder that these are the textbook pages that you'll be using in today's lesson. So what I would like you to do first is think back to our lesson on the factors affecting the coastline, and then I'd like you to read page 98 and 99, which I've just shown you. Once you've done that, I want you to pause the video here and watch this quick clip from Time for Geography, which is absolutely brilliant, which will show you some of these features in action. So pause the video here and watch that. So you're going to need to think back to last lesson's learning for some of the coastal marine processes, so those associated with the sea, so the types of erosion. So the different features we're going to be looking at today are headlands and bays, arches, stacks and stumps, and wave-cut notches and wave-cut platforms. So we'll start with headlands and bays. Now I want you to think about the type of coastline that we've got in front of us here. Now you're going to make a note of this, or draw a diagram of this, of A and B. Now what you'll notice is there's 2 distinct different types of rock. Now, as we've learned in physical landscapes of the UK, that the hardness and resistance of the rock will affect the levels of erosion. Now, we call this kind of coastline a discordant coastline because it's got layers of different types of rock, so harder and softer rock. Now, the less resistant rock is softer and will erode more, and then the more resistant rock is harder, as seen in the image, and that will withstand erosion. And eventually, over time, the softer rock will start to retreat, and it will leave the harder, more resistant rock protruding as a headland. So headlands and bays are quite a nice, simple erosional feature. Next one then, we've got the wave-cut platform. I want you to have a look at what is happening here. Now, wave-cut platforms, you're going to make a copy of both of these diagrams. So what is happening is the marine erosion, so the erosion associated with the sea, is attacking the foot of the cliff and obviously etching out a wave-cut notch, which is a little area of weakness at the bottom of the cliff. Now, over time, as you can imagine, the weight of all that rock above it will eventually collapse, especially if there are sub-aerial processes occurring. They're the ones associated with weathering, for instance, so freeze, thaw, etc., frost shattering. They will weaken the material above the notch, and eventually it will collapse causing over time or temporally the whole feature to actually retract backwards, leaving you this exposed area at the bottom, which we call our wave cut platform. Next feature, which is a very interesting feature, so our arches, caves, stacks and stumps. Now you will need a diagram like this in a moment that you can draw and label. What I would like you to do though is just pause the video here and have a quick watch of the video that you can see in the bottom, which will take you through the formation of arches, stacks and stumps, just as a reminder. So here is what it should look like. So here is the formation of where we go from just a simple crack in a rock, and then all the weathering and erosional processes that will lead that through to eventually over time that very lonesome stump out there in the ocean. Right, so time for some questions, guys. So you'll need to go back to pages 98 and 99 of the textbook. I have prepared some model answers on the following slides for you, but give them a go yourself first and then use this for self-assessment. So I'll very quickly whiz through them. I've put an exam question on there which I have modelled in the structure as you know and love. Now I'd like you to actually send this and submit this exam question to me please via Teams. So it's a 4-marker and it's a photograph and figure based question. Now you know if we were in class I'd say what must we do? And you'd cry refer to the figure miss. So please make sure that you are referring to the figure. Now the command word here is suggest, so suggest why the coastal area shown in figure 11 needs to be protected. So you don't know definitively what the answer is, but you can clearly see some elements of this photograph. So pause the video here and have a think about how you would address this. Now we've added a few notes on here to help you with where you could go with this question. I've also popped the mark scheme on here. Now for a 4-marker you need 2 well-developed points, so you might consider to talk about obviously the economic issues of this failure of the coastal protection. So pause the video here and have a go at the 4-marker please and submit it on Teams. But what I've also done is I put on here a dirt PowerPoint slide as well. Please resist looking at this until you've attempted it yourself. I would like your actual versions to be sent to me, and then obviously you can use this exemplar in order to improve your answer. Fabulous work guys, and I can't wait to hopefully see you very soon in the classroom. It'll be amazing. Take care guys, have a nice week, bye.